What if the music you love hides sinister secrets? From rappers accused of blood sacrifices to the chilling mysteries of the 27 Club and pop stars rumored to be mind-controlled or replaced by clones. These are the dark tales the industry doesn't want you to know. Buckle up as we uncover 14 of the wildest, most spine-chilling conspiracy theories in music history. What if your favorite artist is part of the story? Theory 1. Rappers and the blood sacrifice theory. Fame at a chilling cost? The world of rap and hip-hop has always been a magnet for controversy, but few rumors have sent chills down spines quite like the blood sacrifice theory. Whispers of eerie coincidences and tragic losses have led some to believe that superstardom in the rap game might come at an unimaginable price, a life-altering deal with shadowy forces, sealed by the ultimate sacrifice. At the center of this theory are some of the biggest names in rap. Kanye West, Dr. Dre, and others who have faced devastating personal tragedies while rising to the top. Could these losses be mere coincidence? Or is there something darker lurking beneath the surface? Take Kanye West, for instance. His meteoric rise to fame has been accompanied by undeniable talent and creative genius, but also by heartbreak. In 2007, Kanye's beloved mother, Donda West, passed away due to complications from cosmetic surgery. For theorists, this tragic event wasn't random. It was the blood sacrifice required to elevate Kanye into the global icon he became. Adding fuel to the fire, Kanye himself has made cryptic statements that some interpret as hints about industry secrets. In an interview, he claimed, "My mom sacrificed herself for me to have this platform." Was he speaking metaphorically, or was there a chilling, literal truth behind his words? Dr. Dre's story adds another layer of intrigue. The legendary producer and rapper revolutionized the music industry, but his personal life has been marked by tragedy. In 2008, his son, Andre Young Jr., died at just 20 years old. While the official cause was ruled an accidental overdose, conspiracy theorists couldn't ignore the timing. Dre was at the peak of his career, raking in millions from his iconic beats by Dre Brand and cementing his legacy as a music mogul. For believers, this was no accident. It was the price he had to pay to remain at the top. The theory doesn't stop with these two. Artists like Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, and even Tupac have been roped into this dark narrative. Fans point to cryptic lyrics, odd imagery in music videos, and recurring symbols as evidence of a hidden system of control. The recurring themes of death, sacrifice, and rebirth in their work are seen not as artistic expression, but as confessions or warnings. Skeptics, of course, dismiss these theories as pure fantasy, pointing out that tragic losses are a painful but natural part of life, even for the rich and famous. They argue that connecting personal tragedies to career success oversimplifies complex lives and sensationalizes grief. But the believers remain undeterred. To them, the industry is a shadowy world of deals made in secrecy, where fame and fortune are exchanged for sacrifices too chilling to imagine. Real or not, this theory continues to fascinate and terrify in equal measure. Is it all just a dark fantasy? Or does the glittering world of rap and hip-hop hold secrets far more sinister than we dare to believe? You decide. Theory 2. The pop star training camps, groomed for global domination? The world of pop music dazzles with its perfectly choreographed performances, mesmerizing vocals, and larger-than-life personas. But what if this perfection wasn't natural? What if the pop stars we adore, especially in K-pop and Western pop, weren't just talented individuals but carefully groomed products of secretive, high-pressure training camps designed for global domination? The theory of pop star training camps has gained traction in recent years, especially with the explosive rise of K-pop. Groups like BTS, Blackpink, and others are global icons, celebrated for their incredible synchronization, flawless appearances, and endless energy. But behind the glittering stage lights, critics say, lies a grueling system where young hopefuls are handpicked, molded, and sometimes even exploited in their pursuit of stardom. Let's start with K-pop. South Korea's entertainment industry is known for its rigorous trainee system, where young aspirants as young as 10 or 12 audition for spots in massive talent agencies. Those selected enter a world of relentless schedules, undergoing years of intense training in singing, dancing, and media handling. They're taught to master every aspect of their craft, from nailing complicated dance moves to smiling perfectly for the cameras, even when they're exhausted. However, theorists claim there's more to it than just dedication. They argue that these camps aren't just about producing stars, they're about creating control. Trainees are allegedly cut off from the outside world, forbidden from dating, and subjected to strict diets, beauty regimens, and even plastic surgery. Their every move is monitored, their lives micromanaged. By the time they debut, these stars are, in essence, perfectly crafted products built to dominate global charts and rake in billions. And it's not just K-pop. The theory stretches into Western pop as well. Ever wondered how certain pop stars seem to emerge from nowhere, perfectly polished and ready to conquer the charts? Theorists claim that global icons like Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, and Ariana Grande were groomed from a young age in secretive training programs. These camps, allegedly run by powerful entertainment executives, are said to identify promising talent, strip them of individuality, and mold them into mass-marketable stars. Fans point to Britney Spears as a prime example. She rose to fame as a child on the Mickey Mouse Club before transforming into a global sensation in her teens. But the cracks in her carefully curated image started to show, especially during her well-documented struggles in the mid-2000s. Could her breakdown have been the result of years of being controlled, trained, and pushed to the brink? Skeptics argue that such theories are exaggerated, pointing out that rigorous training is standard in competitive industries. But even they can't deny the eerie similarities in the paths of many pop stars. How do so many stars follow nearly identical trajectories, from obscurity to global fame, seemingly overnight? Whether it's a highly organized system or just a result of industry demands, one thing is clear. The world of pop stardom is far more calculated than it appears. Are we witnessing genuine talent or manufactured perfection? The truth might be more shocking than we imagine. Theory 3. The 27 Club Curse. A haunting price for fame? A mysterious and chilling pattern has haunted the music world for decades. An uncanny number of legendary artists have died at the young age of 27. Dubbed the 27 Club, this phenomenon has claimed the lives of icons like Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Jim Morrison. While some dismiss it as a tragic coincidence, others believe there's something far more sinister at play. Whispers of satanic pacts, cursed fame, and ritual sacrifices that demand a heavy toll. The list of 27 Club members reads like a greatest hits album of rock, soul, and grunge. Jimi Hendrix, the guitar virtuoso who redefined music, was found dead in 1970 after asphyxiating on his own vomit. Just weeks later, the electrifying Janis Joplin succumbed to a heroin overdose. A year after that, the Doors' charismatic frontman Jim Morrison was discovered lifeless in a bathtub in Paris. 2 decades later, grunge pioneer Kurt Cobain tragically took his own life, and in 2011, powerhouse vocalist Amy Winehouse was found dead from alcohol poisoning. Each story is heartbreaking, yet the eerie age connection casts a shadow over their legacies. For conspiracy theorists, the 27 Club isn't just a coincidence. It's a curse tied to a Faustian bargain. The theory suggests that these artists made deals with the devil, trading their souls for extraordinary talent, fame, and influence. But in exchange, their lives were doomed to be cut short, the age of 27 serving as the contract's sinister expiration date. Kurt Cobain's story is a focal point for this theory. As the face of Nirvana and a voice of the disenchanted youth of the 90s, Cobain achieved unparalleled success. Yet he often spoke about the pressures of fame, once writing in his journals, "I don't have the passion anymore, and so remember, it's better to burn out than to fade away." When he died by suicide in 1994, conspiracy theorists seized upon the lyrics, diary entries, and even the circumstances of his death as evidence of a deal gone wrong. Amy Winehouse, too, fed into the narrative. In her final years, she spoke openly about the toll fame had taken on her. And in the months before her death, she eerily told a friend, "I have a feeling I'm going to die young." Some believe her passing wasn't random, but part of the same chilling pact. The ritual sacrifice angle adds another layer of intrigue. Theorists point to the number 27 itself, which holds significance in numerology and occult practices. They claim the deaths of these artists could be offerings, rituals demanded by shadowy forces controlling the entertainment industry, ensuring their continued dominance over global culture. Skeptics argue the 27 Club is simply the result of young stars succumbing to the pressures of fame, addiction, and mental health struggles. Yet the eerie recurrence of the age, paired with the larger-than-life talent of its members, keeps the curse alive in public imagination. Coincidence or conspiracy? The 27 Club remains one of music's most haunting mysteries, reminding us that fame may come at a price too steep to bear. Theory 4. Lady Gaga and the Marina Abramovich occult connection. Art or dark rituals? Lady Gaga is no stranger to controversy. Known for her bold fashion, theatrical performances, and enigmatic persona, she has captivated fans and critics alike. But behind the glamour and creativity lies a theory that has sparked endless debate. Could Gaga's artistry be more than just eccentricity? Some believe her association with performance artist Marina Abramovich hints at something darker, an initiation into occult rituals tied to the elite. Marina Abramovich, often referred to as the grandmother of performance art, has made a career out of provocative and boundary-pushing works. From cutting herself with knives to hosting spirit-cooking dinners featuring cryptic recipes, her art blurs the line between avant-garde expression and occult symbolism. When Lady Gaga, one of the world's most influential pop stars, began publicly collaborating with Abramovich, conspiracy theorists started to take notice. Gaga's relationship with Abramovich came into focus in 2013 when she attended Abramovich's workshops to explore mind-expanding techniques. A viral video from one of these sessions shows Gaga in a forest, chanting while standing naked, a performance that Abramovich claims is part of a meditative practice. But theorists saw something else, an initiation ritual. They argue that Gaga's involvement with Abramovich signals her participation in occult ceremonies, designed to align her with the hidden powers controlling the entertainment industry. This theory gained even more traction when images and performances from Gaga's career were scrutinized. Her 2009 MTV Video Music Awards performance, where she appeared bloodied and hung from the ceiling, was seen as an allusion to ritual sacrifice. Her infamous meat dress at the 2010 VMAs, some claim it symbolized dehumanization and servitude to elite powers. But it's Abramovich's controversial spirit cooking that truly fuels the fire. Initially in our performance, spirit cooking includes bizarre and cryptic instructions like mix fresh breast milk with fresh sperm and cut deeply into the middle finger of your left hand and eat the pain. Though Abramovich insists it's metaphorical, conspiracy theorists claim it's a coded guide to elite occult practices. Gaga's association with Abramovich, they argue, ties her directly to these rituals. Adding fuel to the flames, theorists highlight Gaga's consistent use of occult and Illuminati-inspired imagery in her work. From the all-seeing eye to Baphomet-like horns, her music videos and performances are rife with symbols often linked to secret societies. Is this merely a clever nod to conspiracy culture, or is Gaga signaling her allegiance to something greater? Skeptics argue that both Gaga and Abramovich are simply artists who thrive on challenging societal norms and provoking thought. They point out that art often borrows from mysticism and that Gaga's dramatic performances are calculated to spark controversy and ticket sales. Still, the connection between the pop superstar and the enigmatic performance artist leaves room for interpretation. Is Gaga's collaboration with Abramovich a meeting of creative minds, or a glimpse into the shadowy rituals of the elite? Whether coincidence or conspiracy, the intrigue surrounding Gaga and Abramovich ensures this theory remains one of the most fascinating in the world of pop culture. Theory 5. The MKUltra mind control program. Are celebrities puppets of a shadowy agenda? The world of fame and fortune isn't always as glamorous as it seems, and some believe it hides something far more sinister. Enter the theory of MKUltra mind control. This was a government program allegedly designed to create human puppets. While officially halted decades ago, conspiracy theorists argue its dark tendrils continue to manipulate society, using celebrities as tools to influence the masses. Among the alleged victims, none other than Kanye West, Britney Spears, and other erratic icons of the music world. MKUltra, a real CIA program launched during the 1950s, sought to explore mind control techniques using drugs like LSD, psychological manipulation, and even hypnosis. The program's documented horrors, including experiments conducted on unwitting participants, became public knowledge after government files were declassified in the 1970s. While the program was officially disbanded, many believe it didn't just survive but evolved, targeting celebrities to maintain cultural control. Take Kanye West, for example. Once hailed as a musical genius, his public outbursts and bizarre behavior have left fans questioning what's really going on behind the scenes. From his infamous onstage rant where he declared, "I'm risking my life for y'all," to his hospitalization for exhaustion, theorists suggest Kanye may be a victim of MKUltra-style programming. His erratic behavior, they claim, could be the result of his conditioning breaking down, prompting handlers to intervene and reprogram him. Britney Spears, too, has long been at the center of these allegations. Her meteoric rise to fame, coupled with her highly publicized breakdowns, has sparked whispers that she was a pawn of this covert agenda. Fans point to the eerie control her conservatorship exerted over her life, right down to her finances and social interactions, as evidence she was being monitored and manipulated. Britney's infamous head-shaving incident, some theorists see it as her way of rejecting her programming, an act of rebellion against an invisible force controlling her. Symbolism, a hallmark of alleged MKUltra victims, is often cited as further evidence. From butterfly imagery associated with monarch programming to fragmented visuals in music videos, theorists claim celebrities repeatedly use these motifs to signal their conditioning. Britney's song Piece of Me and Kanye's cryptic statements about being silenced only fuel speculation that these artists are crying out for help. Skeptics argue these behaviors are far more plausibly linked to the pressures of fame, mental health struggles, and the isolating nature of stardom. However, proponents of the MKUltra theory insist the patterns are too consistent to ignore. They argue that handlers within the entertainment industry keep these stars in line, using programming techniques to ensure compliance. When the programming fails, manifesting as breakdowns or erratic actions, those same handlers step in to reset their puppets. Whether the theory holds any weight or is simply the result of overactive imaginations, the idea of mind-controlled celebrities remains one of the most captivating modern myths. Is it a chilling truth hidden in plain sight, or just a story spun from coincidence and conjecture? One thing's for sure, the mystery of MKUltra continues to grip the public's imagination, blurring the line between fact and fiction. Theory 6. Paul McCartney is dead. The bizarre theory that rocked the Beatles. Imagine this. One of the most beloved musicians of all time, Paul McCartney, secretly died in 1966, and a lookalike took his place. Sounds like the plot of a Hollywood thriller, right? Well, for decades, conspiracy theorists have clung to this chilling narrative, claiming that the Beatles themselves dropped cryptic clues in their music and album art to hint at the truth. Known as the Paul is dead theory, it's one of the strangest and most enduring mysteries in music history. The theory began gaining traction in 1969 when a series of seemingly innocuous details snowballed into a full-blown frenzy. According to the story, Paul McCartney was involved in a fatal car accident in November 1966. Fearing the news would devastate their fans and derail their skyrocketing career, the Beatles, with the help of their management, reportedly replaced Paul with a near-perfect double named William Campbell, a man who had won a McCartney look-alike contest. But here's where it gets truly wild. Believers claimed the remaining Beatles were racked with guilt and began planting subtle hints about Paul's death in their music and imagery. One of the most famous examples? The cover of Abbey Road. Conspiracy theorists interpret the iconic image of the Beatles crossing the street as a funeral procession. John Lennon dressed in white represents the preacher. Ringo Starr in black is the undertaker. George Harrison in denim is the gravedigger. And Paul, barefoot and out of step, symbolizes the corpse. Oh, and he's holding a cigarette in his right hand, even though Paul was left-handed. Coincidence? Not for the believers. Then there's the S.G.D. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover, which some claim depicts a funeral scene, complete with flowers arranged in the shape of a bass guitar, Paul's instrument. The words "Paul is dead" are said to be hidden in the design if you look closely enough. The album's lyrics add fuel to the fire. In the song "A Day in the Life," the line "he blew his mind out in a car" is interpreted as a direct reference to Paul's supposed fatal accident. The clues don't stop there. Fans have spent countless hours playing Beatles songs backward to uncover hidden messages. In Revolution 9, some swear they hear the phrase "Turn me on, dead man," while Strawberry Fields Forever allegedly includes John Lennon whispering, "I buried Paul." The band later dismissed this, claiming John was actually saying "cranberry sauce." Of course, Paul McCartney himself has denied the theory, famously joking, "If I were dead, I'd be the last to know." Yet even with Paul very much alive and well, the rumor persists, thriving in the age of the internet where every blurry photo and offbeat theory finds a home. So, is it all a case of overactive imaginations run wild? Or is there some truth to this eerie tale? While most dismiss it as an elaborate hoax, the "Paul is dead" theory continues to captivate fans, blurring the line between myth and reality in one of music's greatest mysteries. Theory 7. The Illuminati controls the music industry. Are your favorite stars part of a secret cabal? What if the biggest names in music, Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Rihanna, and more, aren't just talented artists but members of a shadowy organization pulling the strings behind global events? Welcome to one of the most pervasive and tantalizing conspiracy theories. The Illuminati controls the music industry. With cryptic symbols, hidden messages, and alleged ties to a secret society, this theory has captivated fans and skeptics alike. The Illuminati, originally an 18th century Bavarian secret society, is said to be a powerful elite group working to establish a new world order. According to theorists, this group has infiltrated every facet of society, including entertainment. The objective being to influence the masses, spread their agenda, and maintain control, all under the guise of catchy beats and chart-topping hits. Let's start with the alleged king and queen of the Illuminati, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Fans point to Jay-Z's infamous use of the Rockefeller diamond hand sign, which resembles the Illuminati's all-seeing eye, as evidence of his membership. Beyoncé, often referred to as Queen Bey, has also been accused of aligning herself with the Illuminati. Her music videos are packed with imagery that theorists believe contains hidden messages. In her Formation video, the use of pyramids and her position in front of a sunlit window are cited as nods to Illuminati symbolism. Rihanna isn't exempt from the speculation either. Her hit song Umbrella has been dissected endlessly, with theorists claiming it's an ode to her allegiance to the Illuminati. The music video's dark tones, use of triangular shapes, and lyrics like "You can stand under my umbrella" are seen as metaphors for inviting others into the fold of the secret society. Her infamous "Good Girl Gone Bad" transformation, seen by believers as the moment she sold her soul for fame. But it doesn't stop with individual artists. Music videos are a treasure trove of supposed Illuminati symbolism. The all-seeing eye, pyramids, goat heads, and lightning bolts appear in everything from album covers to stage performances. Critics argue that these symbols are merely artistic choices or nods to historical imagery. But for theorists, it's clear proof of a sinister connection. One of the most chilling aspects of the theory is the belief that these artists aren't just participants but puppets. The idea is that their fame, wealth, and success come at a price. Total control by the Illuminati. When stars behave erratically or face public scandals, some suggest it's punishment for stepping out of line or a symptom of their mental programming breaking down. Of course, skeptics brush all this off as coincidence or fans looking too deeply into art. After all, symbolic imagery is a staple of creative expression. Yet, the coincidences are hard to ignore for many, and the theory refuses to die, especially in the age of social media, where every gesture, lyric, and outfit can be dissected in real time. So, is the music industry a secret tool of the Illuminati? Or is it just another wild conspiracy fueled by imagination and paranoia? Whatever the truth, The idea of a hidden cabal pulling the strings of our favorite artists keeps us all watching closely. Theory 8. Tupac and Biggie. Were their deaths industry hits? The murders of Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G., shook the music world to its core. These two icons of hip-hop were not just superstars but cultural phenomena, whose influence stretched far beyond music. Yet, despite their untimely deaths nearly 3 decades ago, the question remains: who killed them and why? While police investigations have failed to provide definitive answers, one chilling theory suggests their murders were orchestrated not by rival gangs or rogue individuals, but by the very music industry they helped build. The theory claims that both Tupac and Biggie were targeted as part of a sinister plot by record label executives to profit from their deaths. At the time of their murders, the East Coast-West Coast rivalry was at its peak, fueled by their personal feud and stoked by media and record labels hungry for controversy. The resulting animosity became a marketing goldmine, driving album sales and turning the rappers into larger-than-life figures. But according to some theorists, this wasn't enough. The real money, they say, lay in their posthumous catalogs. When Tupac was fatally shot in Las Vegas in 1996, he was just 25 years old. His career had already reached legendary status, but after his death, his music reached stratospheric heights. Albums like the Don Illuminati, the 7 Day Theory were released posthumously, raking in millions for Death Row Records. The label's enigmatic and controversial CEO, Suge Knight, has long been a figure of suspicion in Tupac's death. Some believe Knight orchestrated the murder to cement Tupac's legacy and secure a financial windfall from the music he left behind. After all, Tupac's albums have sold more posthumously than during his lifetime. Just 6 months later, Biggie met a similar fate, gunned down in Los Angeles at the age of 24. His death, like Tupac's, remains unsolved. Biggie's record label, Bad Boy Records, saw a massive surge in sales following his murder, with albums like Life After Death becoming instant classics. Critics of the theory argue that Biggie's murder was purely retaliatory, a grim continuation of the East Coast-West Coast feud. But others see a more calculated motive: the opportunity to immortalize Biggie as a legend, ensuring his music and legacy would generate profits for years to come. The theory becomes even more compelling when you consider the systemic failures in solving these cases. Both murders occurred in public, yet the lack of arrests and convictions has only fueled speculation of a broader conspiracy. Was there an intentional effort to cover up the truth to protect powerful industry players? Of course, not everyone buys into this idea. Many believe the murders were simply tragic results of escalating violence within the hip-hop community. Yet the unanswered questions, the timing, and the staggering financial gains have kept the industry hit theory alive. So, were Tupac and Biggie pawns in a deadly game of profit and power? While we may never know the full truth, one thing is certain: their deaths forever changed the music industry, leaving a haunting legacy that still captivates fans and conspiracy theorists alike. Theory 9. Avril Lavigne was replaced. The pop-punk princess conspiracy: what if the Avril Lavigne you know and love isn't the real Avril Lavigne at all? According to one of the wildest conspiracy theories in music history, the original pop-punk princess died in 2003 and was replaced by a body double named Melissa. Fans claim they have the evidence, subtle changes in her appearance, her voice, and even her demeanor, proving that the Avril we see today is not the same person who gave us hits like Complicated and Skater Boy. Is this the ultimate hoax, or just a case of fans looking too deeply into the spotlight? The theory begins in the early 2000s when Avril burst onto the scene with her edgy style, rebellious attitude, and raw, emotional music. She was the anti-pop star, carving her own path in a world dominated by bubblegum pop. But according to believers, the pressure of fame took its toll on Avril. Struggling with personal issues and the demands of the industry, the theory suggests she tragically took her own life in 2003. To avoid losing a lucrative career and devastating fans, her record label allegedly found a doppelganger, Melissa Vandella, to take her place. The proof comes in many forms. The most notable evidence is the shift in Avril's appearance over the years. Fans point to photos showing subtle differences in facial structure, such as a changed jawline, nose shape, and even the position of her moles. Some claim her style became less authentic, moving away from her original punk aesthetic to a more polished, mainstream look. Skeptics argue that this is simply the result of growing up, makeup, and possibly cosmetic procedures. But to conspiracy theorists, it's a sign that Melissa took over. Then there's her music. Early Avril was raw and angsty, with lyrics full of rebellion and heartache. Post-2003, Avril shifted to a poppier sound, with hits like Girlfriend and What the Hell showcasing a sassier, more playful persona. While evolution in music style is natural for artists, some fans believe this stark change is further proof of the swap. They argue that Melissa simply couldn't replicate the depth and emotion of the original Avril. If that wasn't enough, theorists point to supposed clues hidden in her songs and promotional materials. For instance, they claim the cover of her Under My Skin album hints at her demise, with its dark tone and cryptic lyrics. Other songs, like My Happy Ending, are said to contain subtle nods to Avril's death and Melissa's rise. But why would anyone go to such lengths to perpetuate this deception? The answer, as always, is money. Avril was a global superstar at the peak of her career in 2003. Losing her would have meant millions of dollars in losses for her record label. To them, the theory goes, creating a fake Avril was simply a business decision. Of course, Avril herself has denied the conspiracy, calling it ridiculous. Still, the theory has persisted, fueled by passionate fans and internet sleuths combing through every detail of her life. So, is Avril Lavigne truly Avril Lavigne, or has Melissa fooled us all? While it's likely nothing more than a bizarre internet fantasy, the theory has cemented its place in pop culture history, making us question just how well we really know our favorite stars. Theory 10. Britney Spears, a government pawn in a political cover-up? What if Britney Spears wasn't just a pop princess, but an unwitting player in a high-stakes political game? According to a jaw-dropping conspiracy theory, the toxic singer's highly publicized meltdowns during the mid-2000s weren't the result of personal struggles or the pressures of fame. Instead, they were deliberately orchestrated distractions, designed to divert the public's attention from political scandals during George W. Bush's presidency. Could one of pop culture's most iconic figures have been used as a smokescreen for political maneuvering? The theory gained traction as fans and conspiracy enthusiasts began drawing eerie connections between Britney's most infamous moments and major political controversies. Take, for instance, Britney's shocking 2007 head shaving incident. The media went into overdrive, covering every detail of her breakdown as the story dominated headlines. But around the same time, Bush was grappling with increasing criticism over the Iraq War and mounting evidence that his administration had mishandled intelligence about weapons of mass destruction. Coincidence? Conspiracy theorists don't think so. And it doesn't stop there. In January 2004, Britney made waves with her 55-hour Vegas marriage to childhood friend Jason Alexander. This bizarre and short-lived stunt captured the world's attention. But guess what else was happening? The White House was embroiled in a scandal over the revelation that no weapons of mass destruction had been found in Iraq, undermining the administration's justification for the war. As tabloids dissected every detail of Britney's impulsive wedding, political analysts noted how quickly the public's focus shifted away from Washington. The theory hinges on the idea that Britney, as one of the most famous and scrutinized celebrities of her time, was the perfect distraction. Her every move was already under the spotlight, so amplifying her public struggles would require minimal effort. Some even suggest that her management team, or those in her inner circle, may have been pressured or incentivized to keep the chaos front and center. Critics of this theory argue that Britney's meltdowns were the natural fallout of a young woman crushed by the relentless demands of stardom. After all, she was a global superstar from a young age, with little privacy and constant scrutiny. Her struggles with mental health, substance use, and legal battles, including her infamous conservatorship, could easily explain her erratic behavior. But conspiracy theorists counter with one unsettling question. Why did these dramatic events always seem to align with politically sensitive moments? Even Britney's 2007 VMA performance, widely panned as disastrous, occurred during a period of growing public dissatisfaction with the Bush administration's handling of Hurricane Katrina and the ongoing war. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of this theory is how it frames Britney as a victim, not just of fame and exploitation, but of a system willing to manipulate her life for political gain. If true, it suggests a dark collaboration between entertainment and government, where a pop star's struggles were weaponized to protect those in power. So, was Britney Spears really a pawn in a political chess game? While the theory is impossible to prove, it raises unsettling questions about the intersection of celebrity culture and political agendas. And as Britney herself once sang, "You want a piece of me? Maybe we should have been asking who wanted a piece of her, and why." Theory 11. Michael Jackson. Was the king of pop silenced by the industry? Michael Jackson's sudden death in 2009 shocked the world, leaving millions mourning the loss of an icon. The official story points to cardiac arrest caused by a lethal dose of propofol administered by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. But what if there's more to the story? Some believe Jackson's death was no accident, but a calculated assassination orchestrated by powerful figures in the music industry. Their motive? To silence the king of pop and seize control of his unparalleled assets, including some of the most valuable music catalogs in history. At the center of this theory lies Jackson's ownership of the lucrative ATV catalog, which included publishing rights to songs by the Beatles, Elvis Presley, and Little Richard. In 1985, Jackson made the groundbreaking move of purchasing ATV for $47.5 million, a decision that reportedly caused friction with major players in the music industry. Over time, this catalog became a treasure trove worth billions, a jewel that record executives and corporations allegedly coveted. Adding fuel to the fire, Jackson's outspoken criticism of the industry hinted at deeper tensions. During public speeches, he labeled the music business as racist and accused it of exploiting artists. He even called out individuals by name, including Sony Music's then-head, Tommy Mottola, whom Jackson infamously referred to as evil. By challenging the establishment and exposing its darker side, Jackson may have painted a target on his back. As Jackson prepared for his This Is It comeback tour, he was reportedly drowning in debt, owing hundreds of millions. However, some theorists argue this narrative was a smokescreen to justify industry intervention. They believe the tour was designed to fail, setting the stage for Jackson to lose control of his assets, including the ATV catalog, which he had used as collateral for loans. His death conveniently occurred just weeks before the tour's debut, raising suspicions that the timing was more than coincidental. Dr. Conrad Murray, Jackson's personal physician, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter for administering the fatal dose of propofol. But theorists argue Murray was just a pawn in a larger scheme. Why would a trained doctor take such reckless actions with a high-profile patient? Some suggest that Murray may have been pressured or manipulated into delivering the dose that killed Jackson, ensuring his silence forever. In the years leading up to his death, Jackson reportedly expressed fears for his life, telling friends and family that powerful individuals were out to get him. During a chilling conversation with his sister LaToya, he allegedly warned, "They're going to kill me for my catalog." Whether these fears were paranoia or a genuine cry for help remains hotly debated, but they lend weight to the theory that Jackson knew his time was running out. If Jackson's death was a calculated move, the question becomes, who stood to gain? After his passing, control of his estate shifted, and lucrative posthumous deals were made, including the release of This Is It and various licensing agreements. Some theorists argue these moves enriched the same industry forces Jackson had long fought against. Michael Jackson's legacy is one of unparalleled talent and groundbreaking achievements. Yet, the circumstances surrounding his death leave a lingering cloud of mystery. Was the king of pop a victim of industry greed, silenced to ensure the preservation of a powerful status quo? Or was his untimely death simply a tragic consequence of personal struggles and poor medical care? For now, the truth remains elusive, but the theory keeps the question alive. Did the industry that Michael Jackson revolutionized ultimately lead to his downfall? Theory 12. The industry clones artists, a wild theory that refuses to die. Could your favorite celebrity be a clone? It might sound like the stuff of science fiction, but some conspiracy theorists are convinced the music industry has taken its obsession with perfection to terrifying extremes. They claim stars like Eminem, Kanye West, and Britney Spears have been secretly replaced by clones, genetically engineered replicas designed to keep their brands alive even after their supposed deaths. While this theory might make your head spin, its strange evidence has fueled a wildfire of speculation across the internet. The theory hinges on the idea that cloning technology is not only real, but has been perfected and weaponized by secretive elite groups. According to believers, the music industry is so invested in profit and control that it wouldn't think twice about replacing an aging, troubled, or deceased artist with a clone. This would allow record labels to continue cashing in on the star's image, music, and merchandise without interruption. And if you're wondering where these clones are allegedly made, theorists point to shadowy, high-tech labs operating in secrecy. Some even claim these facilities are tied to government experiments or organizations like the Illuminati. A stretch? Absolutely. But it doesn't stop the internet from running wild with the idea. One of the most popular evidence-packed cases involves Eminem. Fans began speculating about the rapper's sudden transformation around 2006, claiming his facial structure, voice, and lyrical style changed dramatically after a brief hiatus. Some argue this was the point when the real Eminem was replaced. They even point to interviews where the rapper seems off, struggling to recall basic details about his own life. Others highlight cryptic lyrics and symbolism in his songs as hints about his supposed cloning. Adding to the intrigue is a viral 2017 video of Eminem appearing on ESPN, where his blank, robotic expression led theorists to dub him a malfunctioning clone. Coincidence, or proof of something sinister? Kanye West's erratic behavior has made him a magnet for conspiracy theories, and cloning speculation is no exception. The theory gained traction after Kanye's public breakdown in 2016, followed by a brief disappearance. When he re-emerged, some fans claimed he looked and acted completely different, calmer, more subdued, and less like his unpredictable self. To theorists, this was the new Kanye, a lab-grown doppelganger designed to toe the industry line. Britney Spears is no stranger to conspiracy theories, but the cloning narrative adds another layer to her already mysterious life. During her highly publicized breakdown in 2007, Britney shaved her head, leading some to claim it was a desperate attempt to thwart cloning efforts by destroying DNA samples. Since then, her tightly controlled public appearances have sparked rumors that the Britney we see today is not the original pop princess, but a clone used to maintain her marketability. The supposed proof of celebrity cloning ranges from subtle facial changes to cryptic interviews and even song lyrics. Skeptics, of course, argue that these are just the natural effects of aging, plastic surgery, or personal evolution. But believers insist the music industry has too much at stake to let its biggest stars fade away naturally. Whether you think this theory is outlandish or oddly compelling, one thing's for sure. It taps into a deep fascination with the limits of technology and the lengths people will go to preserve fame. Could cloning really be the music industry's ultimate secret weapon? Or is it just another wild story born from our collective imagination? You decide. Theory 13. Did Prince predict his own death? Theories that won't stay silent. Few artists have commanded the same mystique as Prince, a musical genius known not just for his iconic sound, but also for his cryptic public statements. Before his untimely death in 2016, Prince dropped a series of puzzling clues that many believe foretold his demise. Whether it was his vocal criticism of the music industry, his chilling comments about slavery, or his strange remarks on chemtrails, fans and conspiracy theorists alike are convinced Prince knew too much, and that knowledge may have cost him his life. Prince was never shy about calling out what he saw as corruption within the music industry. He famously scrawled the word slave on his cheek during a bitter contract dispute with Warner Brothers, describing the label's grip on artists as oppressive. Record contracts are just like, I'm going to say the word slavery, he said in a 2015 interview. I would tell any young artist, don't sign. By the time of his death, Prince had not only regained control of his music, but was actively working to educate other artists about owning their masters. This defiance, some theorists argue, made him a target for the powerful entities he openly challenged. Adding fuel to the conspiracy fire are Prince's bizarre comments about chemtrails, a staple in many conspiracy circles. In a 2009 interview, Prince discussed seeing mysterious trails in the sky during his childhood and claimed they had a strange effect on people. You'd see these trails in the sky, and people started fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why, he said. Was this just a peculiar observation, or was Prince hinting at something more sinister? For theorists, this moment solidified Prince as someone who knew too much, someone willing to speak out about topics the elite would prefer remain hidden. And when public figures start talking about chemtrails, the theories inevitably follow. Did Prince's openness about government control and manipulation put him on a dangerous path? The timeline leading up to Prince's death is riddled with strange and unsettling moments. Just a week before he passed, his private plane made an emergency landing due to a reported medical emergency. Prince was rushed to the hospital, but details remain murky, and he was released just hours later. Then, in his final public appearance, Prince cryptically told fans, "Wait a few days before you waste any prayers." When the news of his death broke, the official cause was ruled as an accidental overdose of fentanyl. But for many, this explanation felt too convenient. How could an artist who maintained an incredibly disciplined lifestyle succumb to such a fate? Prince's legacy is one of rebellion, independence, and unrelenting creativity. Yet his death has left a lingering question. Was it truly an accident? Or was it the result of a calculated effort to silence a voice that dared to challenge the system? Whether you see a tragic loss or a chilling conspiracy, one thing is certain: Prince's words and music continue to haunt and inspire in equal measure. Theory 14. Taylor Swift, pop icon or satanic priestess? Taylor Swift is one of the most successful and recognizable pop stars in the world. But could her fame and fortune be tied to something far darker than talent and hard work? For years, whispers have spread across the internet claiming that Taylor isn't just a singer-songwriter, but a secret priestess in a satanic cult. Her use of snake imagery, cryptic lyrics, and meteoric rise to stardom have fueled theories suggesting that Swift's career might be backed by something or someone beyond this world. In 2017, Swift's Reputation album marked a bold shift in her public persona. Gone was the innocent girl-next-door image, replaced by a darker, edgier version of herself. The album's promotional material and music videos prominently featured snakes, which she embraced after being labeled one by online critics. But for conspiracy theorists, the snakes weren't just a clapback at her haters. They were a sinister symbol of her true allegiance. Snakes have long been associated with satanic imagery, dating back to their role as tempters in the Bible. Swift's theatrical embrace of the serpent led some to speculate that she wasn't just reclaiming the symbol, but using it to signal her role as a high-ranking figure in an alleged cult. Theories argue that her performances, filled with serpentine visuals, dark lighting, and commanding imagery, are more than just artistic choices. They're ritualistic displays. Swift's rapid rise to stardom has also been scrutinized. From a country music sweetheart to a global pop sensation with Grammy after Grammy under her belt, skeptics ask, could this kind of success be entirely natural? The idea of selling one's soul for fame isn't new in music lore, but some theorists believe Swift may have struck a more literal deal with darker forces, pointing to her strategic reinventions and unparalleled success. Theorists claim these moves are too calculated to be mere coincidence. Was her switch from country to pop a career-savvy decision? Or was it part of a larger agenda to spread influence in line with satanic goals? For those searching for proof, Swift's lyrics and music videos are a goldmine. Songs like Look What You Made Me Do and its eerie, otherworldly visuals are often cited as evidence. The video's gothic setting, ominous themes, and graveyard scenes are said to symbolize her death and rebirth into a new, darker version of herself, an initiation, some claim, into higher ranks of occult power. Her references to power and transformation, layered with cryptic lines and dramatic visuals, are interpreted by theorists as more than just storytelling. They're seen as hidden messages, revealing her role in a grand, dark scheme. Whether it's wild imagination or an unsettling glimpse into a hidden world, Taylor Swift's career remains a focal point for conspiracy theorists. While fans see an artist constantly evolving and thriving, others see a pop star whose fame comes with chilling secrets. One thing's for sure, the enigma of Taylor Swift keeps the world talking.